have people come to me years later, 5, 7, 8 years later, and they'll see me somewhere and they'll say, I still have the star you gave me, which tells me they remember the event. Are you a winner? Family, friends, work, and spirituality are important to you. You work to make money so you can take care of others and yourself, but you want to make more. I would like you with spirit to say win after the following 3 sentences. I compete to
win.
I'm in business to
win.
I play for championships to
win.
We are at a threshold. A better living and better future is on the horizon. America is experiencing a micro and macro cultural and societal transformation. Do we have the resources to solve this need? Yes, America does. It doesn't cost anything. You will experience liberation, create authentic dialogue, and freedom continues to ring. Will you promise me you will always keep your spirit, be passionate about your work and your life? The key to having the ability to teach is having the ability to connect with patience. Most people don't have that. Where can you identify those performance shifts and entrepreneurial leadership shifts? I can go into any business right now, any business, and identify performance shifts and entrepreneurial leadership shifts. It's just that, is it of high enough value? I'm reminded of a story that I think of. I was in Atlanta several years ago, and I was working out in the gym, and I see a guy beside me, and I was like, that looks like Dikembe Mutombo, Mount Mutombo. And I walked to him and I said, are you Dikembe Mutombo? He said, yes, I'm Dikembe. What is your name? I said, Raj. He said, hi, Raj. Then I asked him, do you want to play one-on-one basketball? He said something to me that served me very well in everything that I do. He said, Raj, when it's time to play basketball, I play basketball. And it's time that we go to the second way. And that is to build relationships forever. I love everyone. Parents, look your sons or daughters in the eyes and authentically say, son, I love you. Or, daughter, I love you. Each of you is unique, you're different, and you're in leadership. I've known my dad, obviously, all my life. And I always told the story when people ask me, how'd your parents get to America? I said, well, my dad wanted to go to graduate school. He went to New York City College, got a master's in electrical engineering, and next day he drove to Greenville. Told that story for 40-odd years. Then I was working on a new project, and I asked my dad again. He gave me the real story. He said, son, I was working in India as an electrical engineer. And something happened, and it caused a big, huge problem. Production was down, performance was down, and somebody way up in management who knows no one in this company came down, just looked at a bunch of numbers, and said, that new guy's terminated. My dad said, I didn't like that. They could do that to me. During that time, a friend of his was in New York City going to school, and he used to write him letters telling him about his stay in America. So my dad came to America because, first of all, he was highly talented, highly skilled, scholarly. But like most people, immigrated, came to America to study, liked it, and to pursue his master's, but really to make a better life for his family. A couple of years later, my sister, my mom, my sister and I flew on a plane from Hyderabad, India to New York City. Next day, we drove to Greenville, South Carolina. Seeing the atrocities occurring throughout the world, it's time for you to grow your family, faith, culture, and identity by sharing your faith and culture with each other without putting each other on the defensive. I want to create a robust business conversation or a better business conversation, okay? I'm going to negotiate a robust deal with you. I'm going to put some policy in, I'm going to put a regulation in, and you're going to build relationship forever. And that in itself, you'll experience performance shifts and or entrepreneurial leadership shifts. So I just did the research, right? I did a little bit of marketing, right? This is a pilot program. Where are my guys? Right? Yeah, pilot program. This is what you need to do. To work on execution, the thing that this workbook does is that it builds and grows your mental performance skills using your own thoughts. Tennis, yes, your level, anybody's level, but the higher you go up, the more mental it is. You know, all the pros can hit the ball, it's up here. But that doesn't mean that you don't still have to work on your technique some. And especially if you're a recreational player or a person who is wanting to learn to play tennis. See, I see a lot of people I work with, and they hire a coach, play tennis, and they get better. There's no doubt. However, they don't work on this. So what I want you to do with that book is, it's every day. Although the cover says tennis, it's for every day for 6 months. I want you to complete that workbook. And it'll totally transform your mindset. Okay, create those performance shifts and or entrepreneurial leadership shifts. It is very important for you to first read the instructions. Don't just jump in and start, oh, okay, I just fill out this page here. Yeah. No, read the instructions, please. Next, I want you to meet with one another. It can be digitally, text, whatever way you want to, at least once a month, these 4 people, okay? And then once a quarter, I want you to meet in person, okay? Have coffee together, you 4 people. I mean, you know, y'all somehow connect with one another. I mean, I don't need to show you all how to do that, however you all want to do it, okay? And then after the 6 months, I want to schedule a private performance coaching consulting session with me. Okay? That's what I'd like to do. Are you in? You in, sir? Are you in?
Yes, I have instructions.
How about you? All right. How do you decide if you're going to participate and engage in an experience? I mean, each of you all made a decision to come here. You had choices to go wherever you wanted to, but you decided eventually to come here, right? Right? All right, okay. Got some head nods, good. And so, I have a formula, and it's in my book, Winning at Entrepreneurship, and I'll share it with you, and it's real simple. It's work plus time plus money. Add those 3 together. They can be a 0 or 1. Put them in parentheses. Times probability and I've got some numbers there, I'm not going to go through it, equals performance shift and or entrepreneurial leadership shift. That's one of the tools that I'd use in determining whether or not I even accept a booking, whether or not I want to go on vacation, whatever it may be, go out to dinner, whatever it may be. Now that's not the only tool, so you can't just say, ooh, we figured him out. That's how we know whether or not he'll do it. And so who raised their hand as a solopreneur or extremely successful entrepreneur? Steve, you're being bashful. Are you not a solopreneur? Well then why didn't you raise your hand, man? I'm not going to put any policy and regulation on you, okay? This is just for you. I wrote this book in 2007, and the reason I wrote that book is because I read a bunch of business books. They tell you what to do, what not to do, and how to do it, and all that. And you definitely, you know, reading education, get all this, the learning education that you can. It's endless learning. However, I looked in the market, and there was nothing that said anything about the mindset, mood, and motivation needed. I'm like, what? So that's what knocks people out. Stick with it. It's not that you're going to get your degree from Clemson University, a graduate school degree, and everybody's just going to be happy and celebrate, and that's it. Stick with it. The other way that you can build relationships are, this is perfect, is with leadership mood chairs. It's an advanced performance tool. Got to make sure they sit like that, okay? This is why I use this. People are moody, okay? And what mood is your, how you feel, your bottom line in action. And especially when the economy's down, and people are stressed, but they can't tell you why. They just need you to get moving and get doing things, but they're not communicating with you right. They're not telling you what you need to know. And somebody says something, somebody gets emotional, goes out of whack. So I use this tool to help my clients, work with my clients. It's pretty amazing because I wish one of my investors would use this tool, but he's a silent investor, non-intellectual capital. All he looks at is the numbers. I was meeting with him just earlier this morning. He had the financial news on, and I don't know what he's looking at. And I'm like, what, is somebody going to raid another company? We're going to have a blitz and takeover, merger, or what? You know? So all he looks at is the numbers. So he won't ever sit here and do this with me. So I had to sit there and act like he was behind me when I do it. There are some rules to follow here. One is both of you have to be seated. And when you start, you have to have your back to this so you can feel each other, sense each other. Okay? Next, you're not allowed to cuss. You can be loud, but you can't cuss. Okay? Next is that you can move after you're initially back to back. Like you can lean, you can do whatever you want. But you're not allowed to get up until I tell you to get up. Okay? And the reason I do this is because to communicate, right? There are several ways to communicate, but the ways that we communicate first is eye contact. The second is our body language. The third is our tone of voice. The fourth is word choice. Fifth is really listen. Sixth is really understand. And so when I have people sit here and they tell me their challenges, and I work with all types of people, partners, people who want to just work better together, investors, athletes. It just doesn't really matter. And I can take this and I can put another set here and another set here, or I can put multiple twos everywhere and do speed sessions depending upon the event and the program and the purpose, okay? And then I can do like really deep dive into some real entrepreneurial leadership shifts and performance shifts in this. And the amazing thing about it is that what it does is it's like the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. As humans, because you're not a professional speaker, you're not a professional actor, at least I don't think you are. You might be, and please forgive me if you are. We as humans look at someone's body language first, 80%. Then we hear the words or listen to the words, 20%. Similar to the Pareto principle, the 20% has more weight, the words. So work on your word choice. You work on those 6 things that I mentioned as far as how we communicate and interact with one another. You do work on that in any encounter you have, whether it's with a person, whether you're at work, whether you're on your computer, and you'll exponentially start to rise in your ability to communicate and interact with people, which is essential. Hey, he's my investor. He wants manners. And even if he wasn't my investor, I'd give him manners. And you know what? I started thinking about it, and I want manners too. And I guarantee you, each of you, as you develop, build, and grow, you'll be the same way. Manners. And for every person, it's a little different. You know, for some people, it's like, hey, respect has to be earned. If we're in a world where that's the case, we got a long way to go. A sense of respect should be automatic. Now, manners is a little different. Manners, you know, cut out the sarcasm, depending upon the situation. Cut out the smile, or the mean look, or whatever it is, or the whatever. You know, people don't want to communicate, so this forces them to use words, right? So I'm sitting here and I use this and I'm like, well, are you going to ask them the right question? You know, instead of what normally happens in a lot of places, like, well, you know, I've got all these meetings booked, and well, why don't you write up your idea on a piece of paper? You send it to me, calculate what you think is going to happen with him. I'll take a look at it and tell you what I think. No, we're in the age of authentic dialogue. The value, the high value is this. Okay, that communication, the ability to draw out those ideas. Okay, so that's what this tool is for. I got a phone call. I gotta be careful with this thing, Cliff. Yeah, nice. Ah, it's destiny. If destiny calls you, when destiny calls, you pick up the call, okay? Yes, destiny. Oh, a mental checkpoint? Okay. Oh, this is an outstanding group. I mean, I'm in the tiger's den here. Thank you. I have Destiny on retainer for his advice.